Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Unique Bio Classes based on NCERT syllabus for PU first and second year. If you like my channel, please subscribe, like and share and hit the bell icon so that you can get notifications as soon as videos are getting uploaded. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Okay, we shall start today's session. In our today's session, we are going to discuss about the second unit, that is Unit 7 in your biology, genetics and evolution. Okay, genetics is nothing but study of genes, evolution, the changes which we find in the environment. Now both we are discussing in this unit, which carries 3 chapters. First chapter is principles of inheritance and variation. Second one is molecular basis of inheritance. Third one is evolution. Okay, these are the 3 chapters which are covered in genetics and evolution. Now this genetics and evolution, it carries 26 marks. Okay, which is very important unit, very interesting and quite confusing also. Okay, first one, principles of inheritance, it carries 10 marks. Next comes molecular basis of inheritance, it also carries 10 marks. Evolution, it carries 6 marks. Okay, now we shall come with the first one, principles of inheritance and variation, chapter 5. Okay, in this you can find the topics which have been covered are Mendels Laws of inheritance. Second one is inheritance of one gene. Next, inheritance of 2 genes. Then comes sex determination, mutation and genetic disorders. Okay, these are the topics which are covered in principles of inheritance and variation. Now in this principles of inheritance and variation, what do you mean by inheritance? In an easiest term, I can say inheritance is that which gets transferred from parents to offspring. Variation is what? It is nothing but the differences among individuals. As you can find some variation among you and your parents. Okay, something similarity also you can find. That similarity is because of inheritance. Okay, so about this one we should discuss in detail. In your textbook here you can find that they have given about genetics. Okay, now in this genetics, one second, fine, here you can find genetics. What is genetics? It is nothing but a subject which deals with inheritance as well as the variation of characters from parents to offspring. Okay, it deals with inheritance and variation which are getting transferred from parents to offspring. For that we call it as genetics. Okay, now this genetics includes 2 subjects. Which one? Inheritance and variation. Inheritance is also given here. It is a process by which characters are passed on from parents to progeny. Okay, it is a process by which some characters are passed on from parents to progeny. For that we call it as inheritance, and this inheritance is the basis of heredity. Okay, there you can get 1 mark question. Name the basis of heredity. It is inheritance. Which one is the basis of heredity? Entrance exam question. Right. Variation is what? It is the degree by which progeny differ from their parents. Okay, progeny is nothing but offsprings, the young ones. The young ones, they are getting differ from the parents. In what way? That is, we call it as variation. Okay, for this I have prepared some note in that what definitions have not been given in the textbook. I have prepared it here, some information regarding it. Okay, so in the principles of inheritance, first here we are discussing about heredity. What is heredity? It is a study of transmission of characters from one generation to the next. Okay, what we said for inheritance? Inheritance, we said that something is getting transferred from parents to offsprings. Here heredity is study of transmission of characteristics from one generation to the next. It is called as heredity. And next one is genetics. Study of heredity and variation is called as genetics, or easily you can find study of gene. Okay, either it is called a study of gene, study of heredity and variation, or it is also called as the subject which deals with the inheritance as well as variation of characters from parents to offspring. These are the some definitions which you must know. Okay, in your textbook again you can find they have given about some paragraph related to the humans which were knowing about this inheritance as early as 8000 to 1000 BC. Okay, since then they used to know that variation was hidden in sexual reproduction. What variation we can find? Today we are studying that variation is because of sexual reproduction. That was known by human nearly around as early as 8000 to 1000 BC. They exploited the variations that were naturally present in the wild populations of plants and animals, which means they have started to use plants and animals which were present naturally in the environment, and they have crossed that and they have gotten new plants. As you can find example, okay, example through artificial selection and domestication from ancestral wild cows, we have well-known Indian breeds. Example, Sahiwal cows in Punjab. Okay, Sahiwal cows in Punjab you might be knowing. If not, Jersey is the most common you might have heard, but it is not an Indian breed. Okay, anyhow, it is an exotic breed or a foreign breed. Now, that exotic breed Jersey, it has been got by hybridization, that is artificial hybridization. By selecting the parents, it has been crossed, and what offsprings they have got, that offsprings they have called it as Jersey, with some new characters, that is production of milk is more, okay, and it is having a huge body size. Different characteristics have been referred and we have got it. Similar to that, we have Sahiwal of Punjab. Okay, so Sahiwal of Punjab, Sahiwal cow in Punjab, it is also has been prepared like that, which means this has been prepared so many years ago. Nearly 8,000, as early as 8,000 to 1000 BC, people were knowing that variation is hidden in sexual reproduction. They were knowing during that time. During that time, they were not knowing that meiosis was there, mitosis was there, nothing was known. But then too, that by practically observing the plants and animals, they used to know that it was hidden in sexual reproduction. So they have got these varieties. Anyhow, next you can find Mendel's laws of inheritance. Okay, Mendel is name of the scientist, Gregor Johann Mendel, as you can find. Okay, Gregor Johann Mendel, I think related to him you had this one in your 10th standard also, as per I remember. Okay, Gregor Johann Mendel, he has started its work in mid 19th century. Okay, in the mid 19th century he has started his work. He conducted some experiments, hybridization experiments on what? On garden pea plant. Okay, garden pea, chickpeas normally what we call. Okay, on that plant he did experiments for 7 years. Can you find 1856 to 1863? For 7 years he had done the experiments on garden pea, and he proposed some laws of inheritance in living organisms. Okay, laws of inheritance was also proposed by him, and he was the first one to investigate the inheritance patterns first time by using statistics and mathematical logic in biology. No other have been used, but statistics, statistical analysis and mathematics logic were applied to solve the problems in biology. He was the first one. Okay, so he has used many of the experiments. He gave many of the confirmation of his inferences, so that successive generation of test plants proved that his results point out general rules of inheritance rather than unsubstantiated ideas. Which means he gave some ideas related to how does it gets inherited. Okay, what was getting inherited he didn't know. Just he has pointed out that from parents something is getting transferred to the offsprings, and what might be the reason behind it, what was getting transferred, he was not knowing. He was just saying that something was getting transferred. He used this pea plant. Okay, why he used only pea plant? Why not he used some different plant? That was the question. So for that I have prepared a note, right? So you can find Mendel selected pea plant because why he selected? He would have selected some other plant also, but he didn't. Pea plant is small. Okay, it is easy to grow and crossbreed artificially. Okay, its size is small, it's easy to grow, and it can be cross hybridized, as you can find this one in artificial hybridization what we discussed, emasculation and bagging. That technique can also be used easily on this plant. It exhibits number of contrasting characters. Okay, many contrasting characters were there in the plant. What are those contrasting? Which are those contrasting characters? I shall discuss about that also. One more reason to select the pea plant was normally self-pollinated but can be cross-pollinated manually. Which means pea plant was normally self-pollinated, which means naturally it was self-pollinated. But we can do cross-pollinated manually, which means we humans can make it to get cross-pollinated, okay, by artificial hybridization, what we said in the first point. Next, it is an annual plant and it can be observed for many generations. Annual plant is what? Which lives only for 1 year. Okay, it lives only for 1 year and it will complete its lifespan within 1 year. It can be observed for many generations. Because its lifespan is less, we can see its many generations. If its lifespan was 20 years, 30 years, like that, we could not sit and wait till 20 to 30 years. Okay, because lifespan, if you wanted to study something, if you wanted to do a research on something, if its lifespan is less, you can do a research on that more. Okay, you'll get results more. So that's why always we use the plants or animals whose lifespan is less, so that we can get the results, and inferences can also be got. Anyhow, it is an annual plant and it can be observed for many generations. Next, you have many varieties are available. Alternative trait with many varieties, different varieties are there with alternative trait. Like if it is producing red color flower, whether it is also producing yellow color flower. If it is having a tall plant, it is having short plant. Also, both the varieties are available. So many different varieties are available, so that we can study different types. Next, pure varieties are available which always breed true. Okay, pure varieties means which are not getting mixed with some other wild variety. Okay, what like a red color rose plant. Okay, red color rose plant will produce always red color rose flower. If it has been contaminated by what? Different pollen grains, but it does not undergo pollination, it is by vegetative reproduction. Rose plant will reproduce by vegetative reproduction, it will not reproduce by sexual reproduction. It is reproducing only by stem cuttings. Just I am using an example so that it makes an easy for you all to understand. Now rose plant will produce red color rose, right? Now this red color rose is getting mixed with some white color rose pollen grains. Then what happens? The progeny will get pink color plant, pink color flowers. Is it? The chances are there. That one is not pure variety. Pure variety was only red. Pure variety was only white. Pink is not a pure variety. Okay, pure varieties are available which always breed true. So pure varieties are there in pea plant. Large number of seeds are produced. More number of seeds are produced. That is also helpful, so that all the seeds can be studied. Okay, like 5 to 6 seeds can be studied at a time. Whether all the seeds can produce same type of characters, or they are producing different types of flowers, different types of leaves. Okay, their growth time is different. Whatever it is, we can study about that. Next one, plants are easily handled and cultivated. Okay, plants are easily handled and they can be easily grown in the agriculture field. These are some of the reasons why Mendel selected pea plants. The most important reason is that he saw from his childhood in his garden his father used to grow pea plant. Okay, in his agriculture field his father used to grow pea plants. He has seen them, he has observed it from many years. So that's why he has chosen, because it was easily available for him. Then rest, what all features, characters we have studied, the reasons which we have studied to select a pea plant, that also comes under consideration. But first is that it was available in his garden. Okay, so this is something why Mendel selected pea plants. Okay, we'll come back to this note later again. Here, Mendel has used some terms like true breeding pea lines. Can you find this? True breeding pea lines is what? It's nothing but those pure varieties just now what we have come across. Now true breeding means what? Here you can find a true breeding. A true breeding line is one that, having undergone continuous self-pollination, shows the stable trait inheritance and expression for several generations. If I will show you that one here. Now this is one of the flower. Okay, one plant. Now it is producing red color flower. Okay, it is producing red color flower. Now true breeding lines are what? This plant is undergoing continuous self-pollination for many generations. Now once it has been self-pollinated, it produces the seeds. Now those seeds, it will be sown inside the soil, right? Then what happens? It will germinate. Okay, seed will germinate. After germination, then it will grow into a plant. Okay, many stages are there. I'm skipping all those. Seedling will be formed. Okay, small plant, then it grows into a huge plant. Excuse. So it grows into a new plant. Now, as it grows into a new plant, then what plant has been grown, it also will produce red color flower, or it is same exactly as of parental plant. The way it was parental plant, same you will get the daughter plants also, okay, or progeny plants also. And this will take place many times. Now this flower which has been produced, it is going to undergo self-pollination continuously. Now this is one generation, this will undergo self-pollination, second generation. Again this second generation will undergo self-pollination. Again this cycle continues. Okay. So when this case happens, then what offsprings after 10 generations or 20 generations or 5 generations, what we'll get? That is what? Pure variety or true breeding. True breeding or pure variety. Okay, which you find here. True breeding P lines. A true breeding line is one that, having undergone continuous self-pollination, shows stable trait inheritance expressed for several generations. All offsprings have same phenotype as its for parents, and its import and its significance is it will express characters for several generations. Okay, true breeding line, it starts from here and it is still here. Okay, now you can get what is true breeding variety, true breeding line, pure line varieties. For all, the definition is here in your textbook on page number 70. Okay, now coming to the contrasting characters which has been used by Mendel. Mendel has used 7 contrasting characters, 7 characters. So you can find contrasting traits studied by Mendel in pea plant. Here they have given characters and these are contrasting traits. Now character is what? Stem height. First one is stem height. Stem height, it's contrasting. It can be either a stem height of a pea plant can be tall or a dwarf. Right? It can be tall or a dwarf. Flower color, violet color or a dwarf. Sorry, violet color or white. Okay. Next, flower position, axial or terminal. Axial. Okay. Here one, or it can be here. Okay. Axial and terminal. Pod shape, inflated or constricted. Pod is what first? Many of the beans you have seen. Okay. Vegetables, beans you have seen, which is covered in one of the cover of green color, and these seeds are present inside it. Okay, like chickpeas you will find all those, it is present like this. For this we call it as pod. Okay, the green color covering with the seeds, many number of seeds arranged in it, for that we call it as pod. This pod can be inflated or constricted. Inflated means smooth surface, constricted means the surface is constricted, something like this. You might have seen this kind of pod also. This one is inflated and this one is constricted pod. Okay, so these are the these two varieties you can find in pod shape. Pod color, so this pod color can be green or yellow. Okay, two colors we can find. Some plants will produce green, some plants will produce yellow color pod. Seed shape is round or wrinkled. Okay, seed, these seeds which are present in a pea plant, it can be round or it can be wrinkled. You might have noticed both also. Next, seed color, yellow or green. Seed color can be yellow or green. Flower color can be violet or white. Okay, pod color can be green or yellow. So these ones, see, these 7 contrasting characters are very important. They have asked in the exam, write the 7 contrasting characters chosen by Mendel in pea plant. You have to write this table, something similar like this. Now same thing on page number 70 they have shown here. Okay, figure 5.1, 7 pairs of contrasting traits in pea plant studied by Mendel. In this you will find that stem height is the character. Its contrasting characters are tall and a dwarf. Flower position is the character, here axial, and this one is terminal. If it is at the tip, it is called as terminal. If it is on the sides of the stem, we call it as axial. Pod color, it can be green or it can be yellow. Pod shape, it is full or constricted. Full is nothing but inflated one. Flower color, it is violet or white. Okay. Seed color, yellow or green. Seed shape, round and wrinkled. These are the 7 contrasting characters with the diagram you will find here on page number 70. And this table is that which can be asked for 2 or 3 marks. You should know. Okay. Now with this here, I wanted to give some more information regarding some terms, so that it is helpful for you all to understand the further chapter. If you know these terms very clearly, then you can understand this chapter very easily. Okay. In this chapter, we are coming across a term called as an allele. What is this allele? It is an alternate form of a gene for a character. Alternate form of a gene. One gene, it can have 2 different forms. For a character present on identical loci. Loci means what? Locus. Identical locus. Locus is what? It is nothing but location of 2 homologous chromosomes. Okay, first I shall talk about what is homologous chromosomes. Homologous chromosomes are those chromosomes which are having similar structure, similar size, similar shape, everything. Okay, like exact copy. Okay, both are exact copy of each. If I am showing like this, this is one chromosome and this is another chromosome. Can you say these are same? No, one is large size, one is small size. Here you can find both are of the same size with the same size of chromatid. Location of centromere is also same. Size of the chromosome is also same. For this kind of chromosomes, we call it as homologous chromosomes. Okay, for this kind of chromosomes, we call it as homologous chromosomes. Now, what does this chromosomes consist of? It consists of genes. Okay, it consists of many number of genes. Now, homologous chromosomes, what did I say? It are the which are having similar structure. Okay, similar size, similar location of genes also. The genes which are available on the chromosomes, that are also same. Like one gene I have shown here. Now this gene is for stem height. Okay, this gene is responsible for one of the characters, stem height. Now stem height, we said it is having contrasting characters. What? One is tall, one is dwarf. Either this gene can represent a stem height of tall or either it can represent it as dwarf. Okay, so which one will represent? It depends on these genes. Now when we say homologous chromosome, on the left side of this chromatid, where gene is located for stem height, same gene should be located in the same position of the another pair of chromosomes. Here, okay, this its character is also what? Stem height. Okay, both this is also stem height, this is also stem height. It can have tall, it can have dwarf, it can have dwarf, it can have tall, anything it might be, but both should have same characteristic gene on a same locus. As we said, same location. For location we call it as locus or loci of a gene in a chromosome. Okay, if I am saying here there is its color of a flower. Okay, color of a flower gene is present here. Now here also it should have a gene which is responsible to give color of a flower. If here one gene is present which gives color of a flower, if this gene is giving some other like seed color, okay, this one is for flower color, and if this one is for seed color, then this is not a homologous chromosome. If it is both are of a flower color or both are of a seed color, then it is a homologous chromosome. Hope you understood this. Okay, these are homologous chromosomes. Now we were talking about alleles. Now these two are alleles. Okay, a gene of a character, it has 2 alternate forms. Which 2 alternate forms? Either tall or a dwarf. Seed color either yellow or a green. Flower color red or a violet. Okay, 2 alternate forms of each For that we call it as allele. Now these are the allele. It is an allele for a gene called as flower color. These are the allele for a gene called as seed color. This is the allele for a gene called as stem height. Okay, hope you understood. Fine. So we were here, allele, an alternate form of a gene for a character present on identical locus of two homologous chromosomes. Okay, alternate form of a gene for a character present on identical locus of two homologous chromosomes. Alleles are also called as allelomorph. Allelomorph. Okay, this is another word or a term used for allele. We have got one more question. What is allelomorph, or define allelomorph? Okay, fine. Now next we are using two terms, phenotype and a genotype. Phenotype is nothing but morphological or physiological appearance, how it appears from the outer side. Genotype, what gene is responsible for that character. Like phenotype, a physically expressed external character in an individual. Example, dwarf, tall, white, yellow, okay, inflated, constricted. For this we call it as phenotype. Genotype is genetic makeup of an individual for a phenotype. Okay, like for tall, we are using capital T, capital T. This is the gene responsible for tall. If you are talking about a gene, genotype. If you are saying about its feature, that is tall, then it is phenotype. Okay, if you are giving the genes, genotype. If you are physically expressed characters, if you are talking about morphological feature, then we call it as phenotype. Okay, very important these are. Okay, some other terms are also there. Okay. Hope you got here. Dominance and recessive. You might have heard about dominance. Okay, dominance is what? Dominant means a gene or a character expressed in a heterozygous condition of an organism. Okay, dominant. You might have seen two friends. Okay, two best friends. They are living together from so many years. They are in the same class since childhood. Okay, in that one friend, okay, two individuals, one is always talking about herself, okay, or himself. She is dominant or he is dominant. Okay, when whatever she says or he says, it's always right. The other one, what does he do, he or she do? They will listen to her, either she is right or wrong. They will just listen to her so that they know that she won't listen. She will be always proving that what she says, that is right. If it is wrong also, she will say that it is right. The other one, because she knows her nature, okay, the other one, because she knows her nature, so that's why whatever she says yes, okay, and okay, whatever you are saying right, she will listen to it. Now this one who is always whatever she is saying, she is right, she is saying, for that we call it as dominant nature, always expressing. Recessive, always listening. Okay, dominant and recessive. I have shown this one in two friends. Okay, one who always express, one who always will get suppressed. For that we call it as recessive. When this will get suppressed, when it is with a dominant. Okay, we shall talk about one more. One more classmate is there of these two. When this recessive is in front of dominant, it won't express its feelings. But when it is alone, when it is in front of someone else, if someone else is saying something that what dominant is saying it's wrong, what is actual right is something different, when it is said by it, then this recessive will express, yes, what you are saying is right, this dominant is wrong, but I know that she is wrong, but then too I am listening her because I know her nature. Now it is expressing when it is alone. Recessive will express when it is alone, when it is not with the dominant. Okay, if recessive with the dominant, it will won't express. If recessive is alone, it will express. Dominant, it will express always. Either it is with the dominant or dominant with the recessive, whatever it is, it will express. Okay, you just remember this story And further, while talking about further genes and further pattern, there it will be helpful for you. Anyhow, a gene or a character expressed in a heterozygous condition of an organism. Heterozygous means different type. Okay, two hetero means different. Okay, two different types of genes when they are present, we call it as when two different type. If one which is expressed, we call it as dominant. A gene or a character which fails to express in a heterozygous condition, we call it as recessive. So these are the only two definitions. You will come to know as we are proceeding with the next session. Okay, you will come to know clearly what are this. Just you copy the definitions, pause the video, copy it and keep it safe so that you can use it further. So many more definitions are there which I can use in my any other videos. Okay. So today's session was related to introduction of principles of inheritance and variation. Very important it is. Okay, as I said, 7 contrasting characters, all those about true breeding varieties, that one, definitions, genetics, heredity, inheritance, variation, and why Mendel selected pea plants, and these definitions which I gave at the end. Okay, so in my next video I am going to discuss about inheritance of one gene. Okay, if you like my video, if you have any doubts, any comments, okay, please comment it in the comment box. I will try to solve the problem. And if you in my next video, as I said, one gene, that is inheritance of one gene. In that I am going to discuss about how we are going to plot the Punnett square and in detail. Okay, please comment it in the comment box, and don't forget to subscribe and like. We shall meet in the next video. Stay safe, stay healthy.